everybody, this is Alchemisted, and this is my first video in about a month. I got really sick towards the end of November, and that put well, I was really sick the last time I made a video. I'm better now. Been chilling with family for the month, and taking advantage of the Steam sale. It's true, me and Steam have had our differences. That's a record, but I do have to say that Steam has come a long way from the bug-ridden mess that it was. And the Steam sales, I do have to admit, really damn convenient. You get a really good value out of them. So, but this is a game called Space Engineers. It is in development. It's on Steam Early Access, and I've had my eye on it for some time. I'm going to take you on show off a couple of the things that I bought. You know, just like a quick look, but this is the big one. This is the one that I really, really wanted. This is the one that I was like, I gotta get in on this. I can't wait to see what how this game turns out to be, because it just, like, this game, I love this game so fucking much already. Like, I've already spent hours. Like, I spent, like, days building that thing, and I was actually very upset a day or so ago when they added the small weapons into the game, and I'll tell you why. When they activate the small weapons, and I'll tell you why. But, yeah, I spent, like, days building this. And this is, like, it's a voxel-based space sim. Kind of like StarMade, only far less boring. I tried, yeah. StarMade's not that exciting. So, we've got, you can basically, like, lay down blocks. You know, you got like various different kinds of blocks to build a ship out of it, and then you can fly it. And each of these blocks has different armor counts. Like they have like basically durability, and like every block of your ship can be damaged or destroyed, so you got to like fix it. And I can't wait to see what the survival mode's like. And it's not just like straight up like arcadey. You have to deal with stuff like momentum and inertia. Which is what the idea was behind this. This was going to be like my main ship, and I was going to have like a scout ship fighter there. That may not happen depending on how like they balance, because there's some balancing issues in this game now that they really have to address. But with the revelation of just how powerful small ships are going to be in this game. But yeah, that was the idea behind this, like this big framework. If you've ever seen a show called Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, there's a really great example, because the eponymous starship is a really large ship, but it's actually like a lot smaller than it looks. Like you have like this big main section in the center, and then like the ship is surrounded by, you could almost call it scaffolding. And it's like these big like oval shaped rings around the ship that house the drive systems, that house some like point defense systems, and like all kinds of stuff. And it's a really good example of how you can have a really big ship with really low volume, like low volume and low mass, like a big ship that's able to pull some crazy maneuvers, which they would do all the time in that show. So that was kind of the idea behind this, is I wanted to have a fairly decent sized mothership that I could go exploring in, but I wanted it to be agile enough that it could like get away from danger quickly. So that's the idea behind these, behind the ring systems, is to be able to have a fairly large ship with fairly low volume. And it actually maneuvers very well. It can yaw and pitch and roll really quickly. Takes a while to accelerate to top speed, but I'm not done with the ring system yet. There's going to be like a smaller ring up front that's going to curl around, and it's going to house some extra some extra thruster units. There's also going to be a couple thruster pods built into the bottom of this ring here that's going to house like these small thrusters. It's going to have a row of them facing forward and back, so it'll be able to brake, because like in actual space travel, you have to worry about reverse thrust in this game. You have to have the same amount of thrust pointing forward as you have pointing back, or you're not going to be able to slow yourself down, and you're going to bury your ship into something. So yeah, you got to be real careful about that in this game. And I love that you can like build ships like this, and they don't just look like ships. Like you don't just like build like a shell of a ship. Like you can actually go inside. These doors don't work yet. You actually go inside, and this is the welcome to hell, bitch room. Like this game will have multiplayer. There will also be like a survival mode where I assume you'll have to worry about like your standard staples of like pirates, raiders, what have you. So anybody who gets in this ship from the landing pad here, who is not invited, is going to find themselves facing an interior turret, which I wonder if they'll be able to automate this. Hopefully. But if it's manimal, that's okay. An interior turret with some cover behind it, behind some cover, and some cover here, so that, turn off the jetpack, so that a defender can equip their assault rifle, which are now in the game and are nice. They're really cool. They really can't be used on anything, so I can't give you a really decent test of what they can do. And I don't want to shoot at the fighter because I'll wreck it. But, you know, they can, like, sit here behind cover and just unload on anybody coming through these doors. And it's kind of like my, you know, you just, like, knocked on the wrong door room, basically. Alright. Going in here, I was actually going to like put some bunks here. I actually have a couple mods installed. That's one of the cool things about this game is the creators wanted to make it easily moddable. So you can import models, and there is a problem because you have like a limited number of places on this grid to put them. Like there isn't like a drop down. There isn't like a category drop down, or the grid does not expand. This is all you got. So like if you download lots of mods, you're going to fill these spaces quickly, and I assume these spaces are going to be filled by more stuff, vanilla game stuff, as time goes by. So that's a problem. But I did download these because I wanted because I love the sim aspect, and I wanted to like make this ship a home. Make this ship, you know, look like somewhere where people can live, basically. So you got your medical facility here. You got your, like, these are where you're gonna like respawn in survival, and you've got your bunk beds, which are very cool looking, very Star Citizen like. Then you have your cockpit in here, and if you go down, and I do like these ladders, although I'm hoping for a lift at some point. A lift would be really nice to have, instead of having to like go through like the ladders constantly. Or a grav lift. A grav lift would be cool too. Although they said they're trying to keep this like hard tech, like hard sci-fi, so I don't expect grav lifts. But you go down here, and you got your engine room. And I like how you can build an actual engine room. Like this is the engineering of the ship. You can't actually access the control panel of the large cargo container, but you can access like any control panel from anywhere, so that's not terrible. I also downloaded these, which I think they're really cool. I think these are nice. I think the game needs a bit more of stuff like that. Just like little like stuff like these pipes, you know. Like I'll show you a couple examples. Like, bam, like put that there, and then bam, put that there. And they're not much. They're not much at all. Well, they do add a little bit. You know, they add a little bit of cool factor, and I think that's what this game needs. Is like, so it needs some like decorative stuff for like interiors, like stuff like these make it look really sort of like as if it's like an actual ship, you know. Once people have got their designs down, that's the gravity generator. I do like the first-person climbing and descending of ladders. It really reminds me of Star Citizen. Okay, where the hell am I? Alright. Let's turn the jetpack on. Whee! So yeah, that's the main ship. This is one of the ships you like spawn next to, and this is the reason why I was pissed off. Because they released, they activated the Gatling guns and like small rocket pods that you can put on small ships. So they are now usable in game, and this was the result when I tried it. I flew, like, you spawn next to some fighters. You saw one of them on the landing pad on the big ship. I flew through this ship. I did not stop. I just flew through it. And I didn't, like, touch anything. At all. I was kind of upset. I was actually, like, telling Inveculus how upset I was. I basically went for, like, hours, just, only able to, like, go days! Because I'd spent days working on this thing. And days, like, working on the design. And days, like, trying to figure out, like, how big the rings would need to be. This is actually, like, a kind of a descendant of a previous thought. Because you can use the gravity generators to construct a makeshift deflector shield. So I thought if I, like, built some Andromeda-style rings around a ship, but the rings would have to be really massive, like impractically massive, to deflect objects. So I was like, okay, I better just be mobile. And that was the idea behind, like, this ship. I could show you the other one later. Like, the ship I was trying before, it's huge. It's implausibly huge. There's another one of the fighters you start with. I wrecked it later. I was a bit pissed off. Yeah. I was kind of angry. So yeah, so then I started developing a smaller ship. And, so I started with this. Like, can I go small but still have lot armor and, like, cargo space? So that's what this thing was. This didn't go so well. I actually accidentally buried this thing into a fucking asteroid and had to reload my world map. By the way, disable autosaving, it will piss you off. Like, this game automatically autosaves every 15 minutes, and it's really jarring when it does. So, yeah, you may want to, like, turn that off and just remember to save. And, like, and hope you save when you screw up. But yeah, I tried this. It didn't thrill at all. It's slow, and yeah, it's everything a small ship shouldn't be. So I went back to the drawing board, and I'm actually missing a step. This started out as a much larger ship than it turned out to be. It's actually quite bare bones compared to what it was before. And I was actually thinking that I might adapt the ring system from my main ship onto the smaller ship and see if I could do the same trick with that, where I could have a large components with low mass. But yeah, this ship turned out to be much smaller than I had wanted it to be, but it is the most promising design I have made so far. And it's actually kind of simple, but I did want to do one thing with it, and I wanted a turret on the back. I wanted to be able to have somebody, because they're introducing multiplayer soon. Like the video where they showed off the small weapons, the small ship weapons being used. There was multiplayer going on, so I'm assuming multiplayer is coming very soon. And again, this game is in alpha. You know, this is like Steam Early Access stuff. So this was my first attempt at a turret. Actually, it was my second attempt. The first attempt blew up. Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty, yeah, that didn't go very well. But this was my first moderately successful attempt at a turret. And at a manned turret on the back of a ship. You can see my recent one over there. I'll get to that in a moment. It's much chunkier, much more heavily armed than this thing. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to use the motors, which you can use to, like, rotate blocks. I wanted to use the motors to sort of create a turret with 2 points of movement. Like, it could move, it could, like, rotate. It could look up or down, or it could look side to side, and it would be able to, like, track things independently of the ship. And that was sort of the idea. Didn't go very well. For a couple reasons, and I'll show you one of them. Let's see, 3 is where the machine guns are. One of the reasons was these machine guns, again, as one would expect, these machine guns actually generate quite a bit of inertia when you fire them. So there's a problem, and the problem is that wasn't me turning it. That was the machine gun. Yeah, like, that was not... Like, I'm literally fighting to keep it... I'm literally pressing the opposite direction, trying to keep it on target. See? Like, that's the problem, is they generate way too much inertia. And, well, that's one of the problems. The other problem was actually kind of funny. Come on. No. The other problem was actually kind of funny, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. No way can I do this. And that was when I started flying it, I noticed something about that second seat. And let me see if I can take off. Alright. Let's go ahead and demagnetize the landing gear and go vertical for a moment so we don't run into anything in front of us. Okay. And off we go. So, it's actually quite maneuverable in terms of how it can roll, how it can yaw, how it can pitch. It can actually do those quite well. But it has a problem. A big one. And I noticed it pretty much the moment I went for third, to third person. Okay. And the problem is this! Look at that. It's actually striking some parts of the ship, too. You saw the sparks. But yeah, look at that. Not only is that going to come off, but can you imagine being in that seat? Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine how nauseating that would be? To be in that seat while this thing is like fucking moving around and like juking and dodging fire. Can you imagine? How would you hit anything? How could you hit anything? So yeah, my first attempt at a fighter-based turret did not go so well. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's land this thing. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at how it's dangling in the back. Can you imagine sitting in that? Can you imagine how sick you would be? Like how nauseous you would get sitting in that fucking thing. No way. No. No, sir. I cannot make anybody do that. Also a bit of a power issue I need to address. But that's probably because I have inertial damping on. Inertial damping. Inertial damping, not inertia dampening. For some reason in the game it's called inertia dampening. It's not, that's not what it is. It's inertial damping. For fuck's sake. You're doing so well with everything else. Alright. Find a nice place where I can land without smashing something. Okay, let's go ahead and alt. Alright. Let's descend. Come on. Come on. Let's go a little forward so I know I have ground beneath me to land on. Okay, let's level out and level out and a little bit more. Okay, and we're down. So yeah, that was... Hello. That was the first attempt at a turret. It did not go well. At all. So I had to go back to the drawing board. And you actually see, like, I cut lots of holes in this thing. This thing actually was a bit... much bulkier than it is now. I actually, like, basically turned it into a flying gas can. Compared to what it was. So you can see how I'd set it up. I had to sort of like go back and redesign it a little bit. So give you a look at what it is, what it's like now. So I went back to the drawing board a little bit and did some work, and this is the result. This is the final, or this is the final work. Like the current model of, I think I'm going to call it the Taurus fighter. This is kind of where I'm at right now. I've altered the placement of the machine guns and rocket pods, give the rocket pods a little bit more clearance than they had before, just in case. This is the final version. Now, the final version is heavily armed. It basically has the same armament that the fighter itself has in front, but it doesn't pitch up or down anymore. It can only turn left or right, and I figure that's fine, because if you're the rear gunner on a fighter, your job is not to track targets independently of the fighter. Your job is to get people off the fighter's tail. You know, your job is to make sure nobody gets like the big idea, you know, of like going behind you and like trying to kill you. So that's what you do as a rear gunner. So that's what this seat is. It's a rear gunner seat, and I'm happy to report that it does not... Let's go ahead and... It does not pitch up or down or to the sides. And it's got basically like almost a 45-degree turning radius behind the fighter that I can target. It's also armed with the rocket pods, so it's a pretty strong deterrent against somebody deciding to get behind you. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy with the way this turned out. Very happy. I still need to address the power supply issue. Come on. I still need to address, like, the power issue, because I'm running out of power with inertial damping turned on. Don't like that. So I'm thinking of finding some way to put a large power plant in there. Fuck knows how. It would probably have to go in there, and I'd probably get rid of the daisy chain small reactors I have. Yeah, that's it. Other than that, it flies just like that one. It's fairly nimble. Doesn't quite have a really fast top speed, but this is more of a scout ship anyways. You know, it's more of a kind of like a heavy scout, like a heavy fighter. It's not like really built to go really fast. It's built to wreck things. It's built to like you'd have these things like on station and at a station, or like you'd have a few of these things like running defense like around large ships, while the like smaller interceptors go after like far away fighters. And these things are for like, you know, like screening like space superiority fighters and such. You know, these things are for like clearing space. They aren't really for like dogfighting terribly much. If you've ever played like Descent Free Space, you know what I'm talking about with all that stuff. But yeah, it's basically what this baby is. The Taurus. And yeah, I'm actually quite satisfied with how this has turned out, except for the power. But that'll be easy enough to fix with a little bit more R&D. It looks like a shitty fight. It looks like the shitty starting fighter from like any like space sim ever. It looks really basic compared to what I wanted it to look like. At some point, maybe they'll like add medium thrusters that you can use, and I like those quite a bit. Like medium thrusters, and that have like higher acceleration. Oh, even if they have lower speed, if they just have like if they have lower top speed, even if they just have a higher acceleration, because acceleration is the problem, especially when you have inertial dampers on, which you're going to want so you can keep your ship under control. Is like you want acceleration. You want acceleration and deceleration. Like once you're at speed, it's not a problem, but yeah. But that's it. And I'll go ahead and jump in like the other small fighters. I don't want to ruin mine. Although, I suppose I could give this let's give this baby an inaugural ass kicking. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I so don't want to like break this thing. In fact, you know what? I wonder if I can copy and paste this. So let's see, Control C. I want to see if I can copy paste this thing. So let's go over here. Hello? Come on. Can I, like, copy-paste you? Hello? Can I please copy-paste you on top? I'll be a friend, like forever. Shit. So no, I can't copy-paste the turret. That kinda sucks. Not gonna lie. So let's go ahead and... I suppose I'll drop you there for now. Well, you're just gonna float off, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah, that turret's just gonna float off. So you know what? Let's give this thing an inaugural ass kicking. Let's go blow up that turret. I gotta change this skybox. I don't like having things like float off into the distance when I'm in orbit over Earth. I really don't like that. But changing the skybox in this game is kind of weird. Okay, so magnetic clamps off. Off. There we go. There it is, floating off into the distance. Let's give it a send-off. Ooh, please don't hit my ship. Damn! Okay. See, I'm not going to fly this thing into combat because I want to save it. I don't want to destroy it. This is the prototype. I'm not the mass-produced version, so I don't want to, like, fucking just, like, completely ruin it yet. But, I will show off why I was angry at this, why I was so mad. Just to give you an idea of why I was so pissed off. And then we'll move on to the next game. Hello. And I figure since I just gave like the ship itself an inaugural ass kicking, let's go ahead and give the turret an ass kicking as well. This is why I was so angry. I'm still kind of angry. And here's why. That's why. That's why I suddenly decided I'm going to build a smaller ship. Because what's the point now? What's the fucking point? It's like, what's the goddamn point at that point? I could have so much armor. Like, I could have as much armor as I want, and I tested it. I tested this. It went through 3 layers of, like, heavy starship armor. Like, it went through 3 layers of, like, heavy plating. before stopping. And I saw a video where it didn't go through three layers. So it's not even so like 4 layers of armor won't even reliably keep you safe, basically, because I saw a video of it not going through 3 layers as well. And I said 4 layers because, like, yeah, like, it'll stop a missile. You know, like 4 layers will stop a missile, but you'll barely have armor left, and the default ships spawn with 2 launchers. I just decapitated this ship. It wasn't even an effort. And I spent days working on that fucking ship. Fucking days! You can see the momentum. Granted, it will probably not be as bad once the ship is, like, in flight and moving and changing course constantly. It will probably not be that bad. But at least firing the Vulcans does not immediately just hurl the cockpit, the turret seat around anymore. There is that. I call that a victory, if a small one. But now you see why I was so pissed. I was so angry. Oh! Oh, I was so angry! Okay, let's take a look at the damage. Let's pull out our fucking pea shooter. Yeah, this is the damage. And I do have to say, the damage modeling in this game is fucking fantastic. It looks really cool. Like, it always looks like this. Like, the damage modeling. It's really good. It's not going to look really good when you're getting your shit kicked. You know, getting the fuck blown out of you. But it looks really... The damage modeling looks really pretty when it's something you've destroyed. And, like, when it's like a twisted wreck... just like floating through space after it's been demolished, it looks really cool too. Yeah, it just looks really cool. So this is the pea shooter. This is the small handgun. Yeah. So yeah, this is the small handgun. It's not terribly powerful, but it is powerful enough, as you saw, to do some like do some anti-fighter. So, you know, you could do some anti-fighter. Some anti-fighter cover with this. Oh look, I've made debris. I should take care of that. I don't know how you hear machine guns in space. Hey, I hit T. Thank you. I don't know how you hear machine guns in space, but apparently you do. I gotta take care of that debris before it hits Earth. I don't have to worry about the missiles. I don't have to worry about the missiles because they detonate after a certain distance. Oh look, debris. No, wait! Come here. I have something to say to you. Die. A crosshair to tell you where these things are going to be going would be nice. How did that miss? There we go. I like that they automatically detonate. That was actually something I was thinking of. Like, this is going for some really hard sci-fi kind of feel. So, like, wouldn't you have, like, the warheads detonate so they didn't, like, I don't know, hit a planet nearby or something? Or, like, keep going and ruin somebody's day? Those of you who've played Mass Effect 2 know what I'm talking about in that. But, yeah. I really need to change the skybox. I don't like leaving things drifting towards Earth. Or, Spain. I think that's Spain. Because I think that's the UK and I think that's Ireland. Okay. Coming in for a landing. Please don't wreck the fucking ship. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, where am I at? Am I lined up? Okay. Maybe go forward a little bit more. Okay, I think I'm lined up. Straighten ourselves up a little bit. And locked. So yeah, landing kind of... Unless you want to, like, risk burying your ship somewhere, landing's kind of a process. Yeah, unless you want to, like, crash. Which I don't, because, again, this is the prototype, and I'd rather not wreck the prototype before I've mass-produced the final version. And I can mass-produce it, because I have, like, copy and paste. There's also some tools to, like, paste ships into a world, which is cheating! But it's also space! So yeah, I'm going to build myself, like, a space scout ship, and I might go with this design. Like I said, needs a little more refinement. Okay, this is you, by the way. Hang on, turn that off. So yeah, let's pull out the pistole or the machine gun. Yeah, this is you. This is you, by the way. I do like that the environment's reflected in the visor, although objects are not. So, yeah. You spawn with a random color. Like, you could like have a blue, red, green, white, black spacesuit, yellow. You just get a random color. There's another utility where you can, like, pick what color you can spawn with. I'd either have, like, blue or black. I really hope there's, like a way. I really hope that there's a way to, like, change your spacesuit too, because of your spacesuit. This suit is kind of, yeah, not the most like, it looks cool, but it's not the most, like, awe-inspiring, or, like, I would rather, like, not have to wear it constantly. I'd rather have, like, airlocks, so, like, I could, like, ambulate around the spacecraft. But I imagine, like, this is a really... Like, I know why they did it, because this is a really easy way to just have, like, people... Like, lots of people in the area and not have to worry about them looking different. Because this is going to be, like, a big multiplayer game. So, like, they don't have to worry about people with, like, different who, like, each have, like, customizable appearances and such. Like, this, they just, like, have everybody as, like, different colors of the same model. Like, the same model with, like, a different texture mapped to it, basically. And that's it. I see why they did it. It's just a little boring. So, yeah. Spice it up a little bit. So, yeah. That's Space Engineers. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm already having lots of fun with it. And...